Man, I tell you what, it feels good to win. I'm not going to lie. It feels good to win. Nobody expected us to win. Nobody. This has been a crazy weekend for playoffs. But I tell you what feels better than winning is beating the Eagles. Woo! Ric Flair. Woo! We have not lost to the Eagles in the playoffs in 22 years. We've beaten them 3 times, kicked them out. Ever since back-to-back, they beat us in the Wildcard playoffs in 2000 and 2001, right before we won our first Super Bowl. So, we built a rivalry with this guy. As a matter of fact, the best play in Buccaneers history, just about every fan will say it, is Rondé Barber's pick 6 in the playoffs against the Eagles to send us to the Super Bowl. I tell you what, this was a great game for the Buccaneers. It wasn't perfect, but it was great. I'm going to go over the scoring plays real quick. At 10:02 in the first quarter, we got a field goal. It was a 12-play drive, 65 yards. It took 4 minutes, 58 seconds. The second scoring drive was the Buccaneers to David Moore, number 19, my boy, 44-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. That was a 4-play, 79-yard, 1 minute, 20-second drive. That made it 10-zip. Then another McLaughlin 54-yard field goal. That guy's just magic after 50 yards. So that made it 13-zip. Then Jake Elliott scored a 47-yard field goal for the Eagles with 11 minutes and 31 seconds left in the second quarter. That made it 13-3. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, oh, no. We were playing great football, but things can change, and it's happened before with the Bucs. It's happened with all teams. Anyhow, then the McLaughlin gets a 48-yard field goal in the second quarter, 5:35 to make it 16-3. Then Dallas Goedert scores a 5-yard pass from Jalen Hurts after a huge bomb play, and it ended up being 9-16. Then in the third quarter, 2:18, there was a penalty on Jalen Hurts in the end zone for intentional grounding. We got a safety. We actually grabbed him, threw him on the dirt, but he was able to get the ball off, and it was a safety for us. So that made the score 18-9. At this point, you're still a little woo, anything can happen. But then it just went crazy. Trey Palmer scores a 56-yard touchdown pass from Baker Mayfield in the third quarter with 1 minute, 19 seconds left, making it 25-9. And then in the fourth quarter, 5:42, Chris Godwin got a 23-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. It was basically just throwed it up. They brought pressure. Baker Mayfield checked out of the play. He saw cover 0, and he said, just go for it. Go to your spot. He was getting clobbered and just threw it up, and Godwin was there. So the score was 32-9, and that's how we wrapped it up. Eagles going home. Knocked them out of the playoffs again. Good stuff about this game. The Bucs led the whole game. The whole game. I think the largest point disparity was 23 points for the Buccaneers. There was no turnovers by the Buccaneers, but we didn't get any turnovers either. So, a little bit there. The Eagles never converted on third down until late trash garbage time in the game. They were actually 0 for 9 when it mattered. The time of possession was Eagles had the ball 25 minutes, 57 seconds. The Buccaneers had it for 34 minutes and 3 seconds. That's a difference of about 10 minutes, almost a quarter. The yards after the catch were incredible for the Buccaneers. It wasn't just that the Buccaneers were really good at it. It was that the Eagles just couldn't tackle. I mean, even the announcers were talking about it. They just acted like they didn't want to hurt themselves. Don't know what was going on there, but I ain't mad. The interesting thing about this game was that we came out, we played different, and I really like that about Canales. We got to give them credit. I'll get to that in just a second, but we slung the ball. We did not run it just to keep it balanced. We ran it kind of towards the end, run out of time, all that good stuff. But it wasn't a matter of let's keep a balanced offense going. No, we went out there and just started slinging it. We stopped the tush push for the second time. One was on a 2-point conversion. We stopped the tush push. I think we are the only team in the league to have done it against the Eagles, and we've done it twice. Now, I said we got to give credit to Canales, but we also got to give credit to Todd Bowles. Both of them did a great job. Great job. We blitzed. We did exactly what everybody said on the live streams, and the conclusion we came up with was blitz. Blitz. Jalen Hurts does not like the blitz. Blitz, try to get a lead and make them come from behind and stop the run. And that's exactly what we did. We blitzed Hurts a lot. I don't have the exact numbers here, but it was a lot. Our first 3 possessions of the game, we got 3 scores. So we ran up the score, made them have to pass. As a matter of fact, in the first half, they only had 5 rush attempts. That's the first half. And that was for 17 yards. We just shut down their run game. In week 3, they killed us with their run game. I think they had over 200 yards, but we just shut it down this time. For the whole total game, they had 15 total rushes. That included Jalen Hurts rushing for 42 yards. Hurts threw 20 passes in the first half. So we saw on game film exactly what I think Todd Bowles and them saw. They had a game plan and executed it well. Loved it. Now, some things I didn't like. Baker was sacked 4 times. We did get to Hurts 3 times, though. Interesting thing, Devin White did not play in this game a lot. And I immediately jumped online and I was like, did he get hurt? Is there some reason why Devin White's not playing? But I don't have the snap counts yet, but I would say he was out there 25% of the time, maybe. And this is a guy that usually plays 100% of the time, so that's very strange. Bowles was asked about this after the game in the press conference, which was I was very surprised because the media actually asked him a question that was a tangible question, not how do you feel? But he said that KJ Britt was in their 6-man packages, and they ran that against Eagles' 12-man formation, 12 personnel, and they did it a lot more than they expected. So KJ Britt ended up being out there more than they had originally planned. So that was interesting. The dropped balls, oh my gosh, I counted 10. Now, I count dropped balls differently than official counting does, but I counted 1 by Palmer, 3 by Evans, 3 by Otten, 1 by Edmonds, and 2 by White. So dropped passes, man, we left a lot on the field, a lot. 3 of those dropped passes were for touchdowns. Zion McCollum, 27, had 2 offside penalties on special teams. One really hurt us, or almost really hurt us, set up the tush push thing. And, you get that under control there, McCollum. I know you're excited. You want to get that block, but let's not get the penalties. Now, we played a great game. I think we played a great game. I think the Eagles played a bad game. I think people are going to get fired over that game. That was really bad. Their defense, horrible. I think the Eagles, everybody's figured them out. So things are going to change in Philadelphia. And honestly, I'm not mad. All right, game ball. Game ball goes to offense, Baker Mayfield. Great game. His stats were pretty good. Not the perfect game he had against Green Bay, but they were pretty close. His total yardage was 337 yards. He had 36 attempts, 22 completions, 4 sacks for 30 yards, 3 touchdowns, a long of 56, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 119.8. So you go. What I loved about it was his attitude. He was on the sidelines. He was fired up. I talk about that a lot, where he'll sit there on the sidelines and not talk to anybody. He didn't a lot in this game. He was up and down, talking to people. Loved it. On defense, this is going to be a strange one. We'll probably have a few people disagree with me here, but I think Elijah Cansey gets the game ball on this one. We're going to have to look and see on the game film, but he looked like he played great. So, as it stands right now, game ball offense, Mayfield, game ball defense, Cansey, overall game ball, I'm giving the Todd Bowles. Man deserves it. Nobody gave us a chance, and we crushed it. Coming up next, the Lions at Detroit. Interesting thing here. We've played the Philadelphia Eagles this year. They beat us. We played the Detroit Lions this year. They beat us. This is a revenge tour. We're doing it. We are taking on the Lions. And guess what? If the Packers somehow manage to beat the 49ers, like they managed to beat Dallas, who saw that coming, and we beat the Lions, the NFC Championship will be held in Raymond James Stadium. So, what? It's a possibility. It's a huge possibility. And we're going on our revenge tour. And if we somehow end up having to play the 49ers, then guess what? Revenge tour. Packers are the only ones we beat in this group, and we dominated them. So we'll see how it all goes, man. Great game, guys. Tampa Bay, the team, everybody, got to hand it to you. You played great. You made us proud. The fans made me proud. It wasn't a bunch of green in there. It was a lot of red. Love to see it. Looked like a pack house. Guys, good stuff. Live stream tomorrow, 6 p.m., Victory Tuesday. We're going to talk about this. Everybody's going to get together. Not sure when the All-22's coming out, but we'll get that, analyze it when we get it out. But, hey, man, until next time, we'll see you 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for the live stream. Until then, guys, go Bucs.